Welcome back. Today we have another day of exciting tales. Tales of seances, witchcraft, and mysteries in the White House. Most of you know about our President Abraham Lincoln, the man who freed the slaves. But what most of you don't know is the story of his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, and her fascination with the occult, with the land beyond the veil, a world where seances and spirits from the other side tried to contact the living, or the living contact the dead. It all started in 1862 when President Lincoln was in the White House. There, their oldest child died due to typhoid fever. He was the one that most resembled Abraham Lincoln. He was gregarious and outgoing, and lively and smart, and a favorite of both of the Lincolns. Mrs. Lincoln never could get by his death, and she immediately began to turn to other causes. Now, she had been raised a Protestant, so she believed in God. She knew about Jesus, but she still couldn't get over the fact that she'd lost her loved one. And though her minister told her, "He's alive, he lives in heaven waiting for you to come," she instead turned to the dark side. In the 1800s, Spiritism had been sweeping the land, and it was common throughout Europe and England. Spiritism taught that on the other side of a hidden veil, there was a group of disembodied spirits just dying, well, figuratively, to contact the living, or the already dead, desired to speak to their living relatives. So they believed that by lighting candles and holding magical rituals that you could lift the curtain of the veil and contact the other side. Tales of ectoplasm, gel-like substances appearing, sounds and bells and music and candles and whispers and shouts were the thing of the day in the world of the spiritist. Mary Todd Lincoln didn't contact one, many spiritists, and they held their first seance with President Lincoln in attendance in the Red Room at the White House. This was written about by a reporter who was present during the seance from the Gazette in New York, and though it was widely speculated to be fiction, to this day the White House has never denied the fact that there was a seance held in the Red Room. In fact, there were many of them throughout the course of the president's tenancy. What happened as a result of this seance, no one knows, but we do know that Mary Todd continued to seek the dead in the land of the living. Mary made friends with the most popular spiritists of the day. In fact, a spiritist named Colchester was a friend of the infamous John Wilkes Booth, who ended up becoming Lincoln's nemesis and eventual assassin. And Colchester, a whiskey-drinking, vivacious spiritist from England, made mention to President Lincoln more than once that he should beware of attempts to assassinate him. Lincoln was such a kind, good-hearted man that he often overlooked or pooh-poohed these attempts on his life, saying, "No one hates me bad enough that they'd try to kill me." But Colchester insisted otherwise. Now, did he get that news from the other side? We don't know, but what we do know is that one of his good friends was John Wilkes Booth. After Lincoln's eventual assassination by Mr. Booth, Mary Todd remained inconsolable. She continued to squander her family's fortune, visiting spiritists and having seances throughout the remainder of her life. In fact, it got so bad her oldest son ended up having her committed into a mental institution. Maybe not to stop the seances per se, but to stop the squandering of the family funds on these spiritists. Never did she get reunited with her children, and she ended her life poor and miserable, the wife of probably the most famous president of all time. If you like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing, and check back regularly for our new videos. And we'll see you in our next exciting tale.